When they were auditioning for the role of Naomi, what were they looking for, and what was it about the part that really made you say, yes, this is the part for me?
I actually had not intention, but I had no idea that Marty would ever see my audition tape. It wasn't, the goal wasn't to go for the actual role. The goal was to have Ellen Lewis, the casting agent, see my audition tape and even remember me for future projects. So it wasn't so much about the role that inspired me to audition for the project. It was simply because there was a fantastic casting agent involved. Further down the track, it was once I started working on the role, it was the fact that she was so far removed from myself. That's where I really found the fun in the character, and it's just playing such a strong character with such a fearless director who would let you play a strong character, because there's every chance that you can have a strong character and then you can get a director or filmmakers that want to downplay it, and it totally kills it and squashes the life out of it. So to have the combination of the plot line and the character and a fearless director who has the confidence and the power to kind of make the film that he wants to make, you've got the home run. You can do whatever you want, and you've got the chance to have like a really unique experience, which is what we had.
And did you have the accent in your back pocket, or was that something you had to work on?
I didn't even know what a Brooklyn accent sounded like, actually. So
that's got to be intimidating with Scorsese, also, just like the king of New York directors.
Yeah. That too. That actually was incredibly intimidating because I went to go do the audition tape, and my acting coach was like, "You got to do a Brooklyn accent. You know, he's from the East Coast, so he's gonna know." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what a Brooklyn accent sounds like." And she was like, "Pretend that you have acrylic nails on." And I was like, "That's got nothing to do with an accent." And she's like, "Yes, it does." And I was like, "Okay." And I did it, and suddenly I'm doing all these hand gestures, and then that's where the accent started. And also, it's easy to do a Brooklyn accent from an Australian accent because you drop the R's. So it's similar with like those East Coast like Boston accents and things like that. Without doing the R's, for me, the R's, the hard R's, like car instead of car, that's like half the work is gone then. So that plus a lot of technical training with Tim Monica, with our dialect coach, that's where the accent happened.
And kind of just to look at the character from like a macro scale, I mean, this isn't a movie that's filled with a ton of innocent characters. I mean, they do quite a fair bit of wrong, but I'm curious where you find that Naomi falls kind of on the morality scale, because to an extent she is a victim of Jordan's actions and lifestyle, but at the same time she was also a willing participant. So I'm curious where you kind of find that line.
Yeah, it's funny because you have to always see your character's point of view. So objectively, I can look at it and say she was aware what was going on. She was aware that her husband was making a lot of money by doing the wrong things. So she was technically an immoral, doing immoral things. But from her point of view, she was hard done by in life, and she was making a better life for herself by what little means she had available. So that's kind of awesome on her behalf. So I had to look at it from that perspective. And then from her perspective, she got caught up in the whirlwind of this crazy life. He was the one that was like, "Here, marry me, we'll have this crazy life together." She was like, "Fine, I'll live this crazy life with you." And then he's like, "Bang, I've got no money." And she was like, "Well, that's not what I signed up for. So you promised me a lot of money and I would stick around. So if the money's not there, why do I have to stick around? That's not the deal that we struck. So I'm gonna get out of here. Also, you're now a drug addict and I've got children, and I don't want a drug addict to endanger my children, so I'm gonna get out of here." So from my character's point of view, I've got every right to get out of there. I don't want my kids to get hurt, and the deal that we struck up is, no longer valid. So I can justify it from my character's point of view. Like I said, from an objective point of view, she just looks like a gold digger.